So the other thing I want to say is that a lot of times when I go places, like I would love to stay in contact with people, right? And there's a lot of times like people, they ask me like, what's your WhatsApp? Or like they say, do you have Facebook and whatnot? Like it's like a lot of times it's like I don't necessarily want to be scattered into all these different places or even be like too caught up in one-on-one conversations, and I don't necessarily like to do general chit chat, right? And also sometimes it's like there's levels of like depth that you go into with someone, right? Some people you realize like, okay, I don't necessarily want to like go one-on-one with you that much, or like really, like I don't mind keeping in contact, but what's the way that I can do this where you have like maybe levels or tiers of like obviously that sense of closeness, right? Like you're not going to be spending a lot of one-on-one chat messages with someone that you really have little in common with, or that it's just not on the same wavelength, right? Like that's just a drag on your own energy. So, and sometimes people do just want to use you for their own purposes, which you quickly gather. And it's like, I don't necessarily judge any of that. I just kind of like realize it's like, it's kind of just like that thing where it's like, okay, I would love to connect with people. I want to, obviously, part of when I travel is like, um, it's like you not just are you being exposed to new places, you're also exposing other people to you, right? People who may not travel themselves, but then like me, just the way I am, like, a lot of people are not aware of like what people from Canada look like. A lot of people are not necessarily aware of people who maybe are like Chinese ethnicity, but why do you speak English so like as if you're not Chinese? So it's kind of like just realizing that like your own experiences can be very foreign to other people, or like you exist outside of like their own mental construct or what they've been exposed to, or their own um, limitations in that regard. So it's like I for myself, like I love that I'm like almost like an anomaly for a lot of people, especially when I go to various countries. So it's not even just travel for my own expansion. It also, when people are, whether people are aware of it or not, it's like being exposed to me, who I am, expands their awareness. And I love it when someone actually, talks to me, or actually like, hey, like, or wants to keep in contact, I'm like, okay, cool. Like these people who don't just like, who actually are, having a curiosity about you. I love that. And that's actually quite rare. Like not a lot of people even bother to talk to me or even like come up to me, or, and I'm like super like I'm super open, right? Because I'm the kind of person who likes to share and like teach and like uplift, right? So whenever someone actually says like, what's your WhatsApp number, or let's do Facebook, or they want to keep in contact somehow, or they just want to start a conversation, it's like they actually want to talk to you a little bit, even if like even if like English is not like super fluent. It's like I'm like, yeah, it's like I always like, there's many times also I want to keep in contact with someone, but I don't bother because I'm like, I know I'm not going to keep in contact with someone just because I have your WhatsApp number, just because I have your Facebook account, just because I have your email. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be contacting you, right? So, but I always wish I've had something I could be like, okay, find me here, connect with me here, and then have something where I'm like able to share what I'm doing and what I'm up to, and like have that interaction, but there being a little bit of like a purpose to it, right? And it's not just like, oh, like, just keep la la la, you know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of that element of structure to it. And there it's also tied into like, say, my purpose, which is like teaching and uplifting and sharing my own experiences, of which I feel like I have a lot of insight. And I'm also a spiritual life path 9, which like is very much oriented towards more spiritual, um, like a spiritual orientation to the world. So I feel like I just have this like great need to almost like connect, like on a global scale, like not even globally per se, but just like on a level of humanity. Like that's why it's like I feel like I'm very open in that regard, right? I'm not very like contained in the sense of like, okay, I only hang out with these people, I only talk to these type of people. Like I'm like super like diverse, and that's almost like just part of my life path. And so it's like it's almost like a necessity for me to be able to connect and to be able to bring on board as many people who want to connect with that expansion, and just like who have that curiosity and like want to know more about like the world or whatever it is, or whatever, anyone who has any kind of curiosity, be like, oh, like trying to keep in contact with me. It's like I want to be able to, I just didn't necessarily have the structure or the container to do so. Because obviously, as you can imagine, doing so one-on-one is not sustainable, not just for my energy, not just for my time, but it also lacks a purpose, right? So that's not helping anyone at any kind of like level. It has to be at like coming from a place of value and like higher level giving, you know what I mean? So I really want to do that, and that's why I'm like creating like an online platform that I can share, and like I can share with people to the level that they are able to meet me at, if that makes sense. So that's why like having like tiers where it's like, you know, I'm offering one-on-one coaching calls, I'm offering one-on-one time where you can talk to me directly, but that has to be limited, right? And that has to come at like a certain exchange where it's like there has to be a price, a monetary price to it, because like, hello, that is my time, that is my energy, that is also a lot of my own experiences, and yeah, a lot of investments that have to be made. So for me, it's like and then obviously it's like anyone can connect, but it's like you're going to be able to connect at like the ground level, right? And then anyone who, you know, there's going to be different tiers where you can connect at the level that you wish to. And that way it's sustainable for me and it has a value to you. And that way it's like, and it's a very simple, low cost acquisition where it's like, you know, I want to keep in contact with people and I want a way to bring value to people. And now I have a structure to do so. So that really is kind of like the desire that birthed this platform and this online hub to be able to connect with, to stay in connection with people and also make more connections as I go along. Just having that container and that structure to pour it all into and to pour from. So I'm very, very excited, and yeah, really you just got to start and build from there. So this is kind of like a community, I feel like, not only to connect with me, but also with other people who are also obviously interested in similar things.